everybody, and welcome to the Business Roundtable. Each month, we focus on a business owner in Howard County. Tonight, we are so glad to have with us Nat Alston, as always. He is the chair and founder of the Ujamaa Business Roundtable. We normally meet on the fourth Tuesday of the month. Due to the holiday, we're here 1 week later. So we're glad that you all are here with us tonight. We have time for Q&A this evening, so please use the chat or the Q&A, whichever you're more comfortable with, to type questions. And without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Nat to get us started. Welcome in, everybody.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much. And again, welcome to everyone that signed in on our Business Roundtable Showcase. And I'm truly excited about our guest tonight. I've been trying to get this guy for quite some time now, so he can smile, but I'm going to be twisting his arm. Finally. This is one of our long-standing members on our Ujamaa Business Roundtable, and that's Lee Putney of Asé Water, one of the few, if probably the only African-American person that I know that has a water bottling company. And so we're going to have a nice conversation with Lee, asking him to tell his story. How did he decide to start to get in the water business? And other questions, as Nancy mentioned, if you got questions also, please put them in the chat or whatever option that's available to you. But I'm indeed excited about having you, Lee, tonight to share your story about your water, and particularly now when we talk about the issues of water, when we think about now the Camp Lejeune issue, the Jackson, Mississippi issue. I just saw recently, as you know, that they had a water issue down in the fourth largest city, Houston, Texas. And in reading your bio and how you got started, what really kicked this off was the issue in Flint.
Right.
So tell us really how you got started and your group and all, what made you decide to jump into the water bottling business?
Well, you kind of hit all the good points. What made me do it is I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Joe Madison in the morning.
Yes,
XM.
Sirius XM. Oh, yes.
He was one of the catalysts because his main point is, what are you going to do about it? You know,
yes.
Here's an issue. What are you going to actually do besides talking about it? So, you know, that resonated with me a lot. So when I learned about Flint, Michigan at the time, I was like, wow, you know, that's a tragedy, because that's innocent people who you know, just want the basics of life, which is water. You know, so I said, well, you know, let me see if I can find some really good water. I never, you know, been in the water business at all. So I searched water tasting competition. And what happened was, it came up with, it's only one place in the world that does a water tasting competition in the whole world. And that's in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. They have an annual water tasting competition every year. And that's what drew me to Berkeley Springs. And I visited Berkeley Springs, tasted the water, learned about it, and worked a branding deal with them to brand my own label. And the rest is that's basically how we got started. So you know, when you have alkaline water, which another catalyst for me was Dr. Sebi. I'm not sure if everybody's heard of him, but he always speaks of anything, natural food, natural water, natural healing. And he always speaks of alkaline, you know, having an alkaline state, to where, you know, disease lives in acidic state. So if you can rid yourself of acidic foods and, you know, raise your pH level, then it would eliminate a lot of dis-ease or disease. So yeah, that's how we got started through Berkeley Springs, which is, just to give a little background on Berkeley Springs, they have spas there where you can go and soak, your body in the natural water. And it's legendary that George Washington used to go there, and that's how he would heal his body, because they didn't have a lot of hospitals or things of that nature. But it's the natural minerals that come with this water. And the reason why I collect so many natural minerals is it's a thermal spring, which is hot. So the water is actually coming out of the ground at 75 to 80 degrees all year long. And it comes from so deep in the earth that as the water pushes its way up, it's collecting natural minerals. And in the natural pH is 7.8 pH level. So it's a lot of people emphasize the pH level, but what's most important about water is the natural minerals. That's going to feed your body, because we deplete a lot of our natural minerals through just walking around sweating or whatever. But yeah, that's and like I said, they won numerous taste tests in a competition, from all over the world. So yeah, it's some of the best water money could buy, and I'm happy to be able to present that to the community through our main distributor is Amazon. We sell all over the country, and more people are finding out about it, and that's my why.
Well, I tell you, really, Lee, listening to that quick synopsis of how you got started, I think our listening audience will probably agree with me. I've never heard of a water tasting. I thought you were going to say a wine tasting. Definitely, we could get involved.
They take the water tasting around the world serious. Since you have waters around the world that some of them are hundreds of dollars per bottle. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Wow. So this was something brand spanking new for you, and you decided, okay, let me check out this water. And so I guess you can say from a person that used to drink water regularly, didn't have any idea, now to you years in, you're now a water tasting or water expert, so to speak.
Well, I don't know if I'm a water expert, but I know when water tastes good, I know when it's good for you. So, and by tasting good water, it's very difficult for me to drink anything but the best water. So, and that's what we offer. So, and I'm so thankful for that, because a lot of companies, they put, let's say, baking soda in the water to unnaturally raise the pH level. They put chlorine in the water. They put fluoride in the water. They put all kinds of things in the water to help us, but ultimately it's really not good for us. And another thing that really hurts the communities like Flint and Camp Lejeune and Houston and all these, it's the infrastructure, the pipes that the water is coming through is old and it's got lead. Baltimore, DC, I mean, you name the municipalities around the country, especially the underserved municipalities, and the infrastructure is hundreds of years old. And that's what's contaminating the water. It's not so much the water is bad. Some water is bad, but they have seepage through people dumping chemicals like the military bases and stuff like that. But I kind of associate water with like gas, a car. Like if you pull up in your Rolls Royce up into the gas station, you're not going to put cheap gas in. So our body is the temple. So I'm sorry.
I know you're working.
Yeah. So when you think about putting into your body something that's good and the best for you, kind of like think about going to a gas station and putting yeah, I got you. Yeah. And sorry about that. And putting cheap fuel in your car, you wouldn't do it. So you should want to, even if it's not Asé water, find the best water, no chemicals. naturally alkaline with natural minerals in it. Yeah.
The other question that I guess, and again, that I have, and I'm throwing it out to our audience, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat for Lee. You went to West Virginia. You did your research first.
Yes.
Found out that Berkeley Springs, West Virginia is the place to go.
Yes.
All right. Now and you saw the water. Now the issue becomes, how do you convert that now to a business venture? So walk us through that. You know this is good water, but now you're going to be a bottler or whatever, a producer of that water. How did that happen? Then also, how did you come up with the name also?
Oh, okay. So what happens is they already have a bottling facility in Berkeley Springs. So I worked out a branding deal with them where they bottle, and I put my brand, Asé Water, and then we have Amazon distributed.
So you're somewhat like operating like a private label, so to speak?
Absolutely, yes. Yep.
Okay.
And in the facility is regulated by the National Bottling Association. So it's a beautiful thing, Yeah, I had no idea that I would be in that lane or any of this. I didn't foresee, before I did it, and I just jumped into it. And because I, watching, what was happening in Flint, Michigan, and then learning that it was just the tip of the iceberg around the country, I had to do something. So water is very, very, very important. And the name Ashe is a Yoruba word that means to speak into existence or make it happen. So that's where we got the name. And the symbol of the Ankh is a symbol of eternal life. So they kind of go hand in hand. Yeah.
Now I'm going to do a sidebar with you in terms of a question. How did you come up with the actual logo and all? Was that you designing that, or was it someone else doing that for you?
Yeah, I had a design team that went through like probably 50 different designs to finally come up with this one here, with the waterfall, and the teardrop, the little water drop there. Yeah.
That's great. That is great. That is absolutely great. The other question that I have too is, now that you've got it up and running, and the private label, two questions really thinking, how often do you get back to the site to see the actual bottling process, or?
Oh, all the time, at least once a month.
Once a month?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And from that, what was your growth strategy? How did you, now you've got this company going to private label a bottle of water for you. What was the process that you went through to get it distributed out to the masses? And even also, you said, which I get it, from Amazon. How did you negotiate that from a business perspective?
Well, I had one of two ways to do it. I can either deliver it myself, which wouldn't be feasible, or I can hire someone like Amazon who has airplanes, trucks, warehousing, people in Prime, where they can get it to anybody within 2 days. So I wouldn't be able to do that myself. So that's the best thing for me. Is
quick question in here that was asked by one of our guests too. Is your product only sold through Amazon?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Could I ask, why is that only, or have you looked at other stores or other areas to distribute?
It's because of the weight of water. You know, if you're not shipping or moving probably hundreds of thousands of cases a day, then your shipping is unbelievable.
Okay.
It's real, yeah.
So now, using that Amazon vehicle, for our listening audience, what did it take? Did you contact them locally, or how did you actually get that Amazon contract to distribute your water?
Well, first of all, I started out what was called with FB, was it fulfillment by merchant.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after, you prove yourself over amount of time that you could be on time with your deliveries, so on and so forth. And then it moves to FBA, fulfillment by Amazon.
Okay. Did Amazon put you through certain hoops and categories that you had to go through?
Well,
As you
yeah,
say, fulfillment one or two?
It's a test period to see if you can be on time with the deliveries. They are, Amazon is really about their business.
Okay.
You have to show that, you can be on time, like they say. If they say you want prime and you're going to get that delivery within 2 days, whatever, that's what's going to happen. So it depends on how, with my experience, they took me through a trial period of probably about a year before I can get on to prime.
So there was a year-long process with Amazon on
For
their
me,
regular
I don't
level
know.
first.
Right. I don't know how long it would take anybody else, but for me, it took about that long.
Okay, I
Yeah.
understand. So follow-up question in there now. When did you start and how long have you now been in business doing this?
I've been in the business about 3.5 years, or maybe 4 years. 4 years, I'm thinking.
4 years, okay.
Yes, sir.
And how's business been now, the growth and all? Have you seen a very good growth?
I love the growth because it's slow and steady.
Uh-huh.
I'm good.
We got some great questions in here for one.
Let me hear them.
Okay, number one, we got down here one question. How many employees do you have so far?
I have, man, that's a good question. That's on my payroll is just me, but the team that I have is vast because I do a lot of things that I sub out. You know what I'm saying? I got video. You name it. I got content creation.
So you farm that out to various consultants and various people on a 1099 or invoice basis.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that.
Yeah.
Another question was brought out too, but you slightly answered that. Is your water sold locally at all? Is it strictly through Amazon 100%, or is it sold, some of it's local?
There's some of it, a few restaurants and stuff like that. A lot of people that's in the area that's close to me who I locally deliver to. I can do that, but I try to get away from that because it's so time consuming. And that's one of the things can get you really, like you see, get you really backed up because it's only so much time in a day. But I like to utilize simplicity, and Amazon affords me to be real simple. Like I ship to Amazon, and then Amazon takes care of everything.
Okay, so you mentioned that supply chain, so to speak, in there. So from Berkeley Springs, it goes to Amazon and their distribution center, or how does that work with you?
What Amazon does is they send it out to different warehouses around the country. So if you're in Ohio, if you're in California, if you're in Texas, if you're in Florida, wherever you are, if they have a warehouse close that can get it to you within a couple of days. That's how Prime kind of works. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know as I mentioned to our listening audience, I order your water through Amazon all the time too, and they either ship it themselves or deliver it themselves, or they'll contract with UPS. I've gotten UPS also to drop it off here at the house. So that's something that really, when people are looking at how the distribution, you've got it there at Berkeley Springs and looking at that supply chain. Then from there, they ship it out to the Amazon fulfillment or distribution centers. And then people order that online where, as you said, wherever they may be, Amazon ships it to them through whatever distribution or transportation service that they have in that particular area.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Gotcha.
That frees up a lot of mental stress.
I can imagine.
Because logistics is everything, especially with water being so heavy. When I first started out, sometimes I would have somebody in California who wanted a couple cases, or say one case. How much do you think the shipping is to California from, say, Maryland or whatever? How much do you think that would be for one case?
I wouldn't even want to guess.
It's $100.
Wow. Wow. Right.
You
So
know what
you're
I'm
looking
saying?
at, as you're saying, when you're looking at it from a business standpoint, it doesn't make any sense to ship it at that type of volume, a low volume, when the
No.
overhead far as the shipping cost outweighs really the actual product itself.
Oh, absolutely, by far. I would cringe when I get, long distance shipping orders. So then I had to turn off my West Coast shipping altogether. Like, I'm not shipping the West Coast. So
Right. So that's where Amazon now comes in to fill that void, so to speak.
Exactly. Like I don't care where it is in the country right now. They charge me a certain rate, and that's what it is. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I would imagine they charge you a fixed rate, so you can definitely understand what your shipping costs are over the course of a year or so. You can build that in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So from a business standpoint, ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the things when you're looking at shipping a product, you got to look at also that shipping cost and whether or not that outweighs the actual product itself. In your case, the actual water.
Yep.
Itself. Yes.
Yeah,
Another question. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
No, I was just going to say a case of water is 30 pounds. So just imagine it.
Oh, trust me, I know when I get it in here, it's not a light thing. I was telling the listening audience that each bottle, it comes with 24 bottles, and each bottle has 20 ounces in there. And so you get, most of the waters are out there, little small ones or whatever, but yours is a good 20-ounce bottle. So if you're looking at drinking water a day, I would say, hey, like they say, an apple, you can drink a bottle a day, and that can really take care of you. Trust me.
Yeah, that's those bottles are BPA free, and these are quality bottles. You ever get a cheaper bottle of water and you squeeze it and almost feels like an accordion. That's if you put that in certain, like in the sunlight or something, that's going to affect the quality of the water even more. So always look at the quality of the bottle also.
And that's always good to know too, that you've got a quality bottle and a quality product in the bottle itself.
Again, I keep using the analogy of your car, and what kind of fuel you use and how important it is to you to put the right fuel in your car. Well, how important is it for you to put the right water into your body? Some people really don't give it a lot of thought. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if the water's wet, give it to me, I'm good. So as you can see in Flint, Michigan, and like we were saying, Camp Lejeune and all these different areas, this lead is, you can't taste lead. It has no taste. It's so you have to be very careful.
Well, I can tell you,
I would recommend everybody have their school system, wherever it is, test the water fountains in the school.
Well, I recommend really, Lee, our listening audience, for people who have not tried your water, they need to try it at one time. At least do yourself a favor, go on Amazon, type in Asé Water, and just try it one time. You get the case in there and really go through the entire case, like I did about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. Went through the whole entire case and said, wow, this makes a true
big difference. Big difference. Big difference. So I tell people, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you go right ahead.
No, I was saying, because we sell coffee also, but like if you want to make tea or coffee or juice or anything, the foundation for any coffee or any juice, really think about tea or something, is the water. So if the water tastes good, the coffee is going to taste better. The tea is going to taste better, smoother. So once you taste the water, you see how clean and crisp it is. It's something you really can't describe. You have to actually taste it to understand what we're talking about. So the first time I tasted water, it blew me away. I was like, wow. like what, I've never tasted water like this, because usually I'm tasting chemicals like chlorine and all that kind of stuff that they put in the water. It's a major water company out here. I'm not going to call the name of it, but if you read the label, they actually put baking soda in the water. So if you like something like that, fine. I just like natural, clean, fresh water. That's got natural minerals in it. So yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
What you said earlier in terms of the naturalness, we took water for years for granted.
Yes.
And then after you said, I agree with you 100%, after Flint, and we look at the infrastructure in some of the major cities, Baltimore, for an example, just had a recent water crisis. And then you also look at the recent water crisis down in Jackson, Mississippi, and what they went through and that infrastructure there. We really was taking water for granted in terms of drinking. And now we're even taking water for granted and a little bit more serious with the water drought that's happening out there on the West Coast. So we're thinking now more and more about water and how it affects us. So it's a good segue to another question in here. On your website and others, do you have any testimony of how your water has made a difference in anyone's health?
Oh yeah, if you visit the Amazon page, there's plenty testimonies. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
it made me think about the amount of dialysis centers that are popping up all over our communities, especially. A lot of people are not being properly hydrated, and their kidneys are failing. So water is extremely, extremely, extremely important. Even if, like I keep telling people, even if you don't drink Asé water, drink more water to help flush your kidneys and make sure the water is clean and free of chemicals. Yeah.
No, you're right, because that's all we're hearing now. Everyone says, make sure that you're hydrated.
Yep.
And your water is definitely something that I would recommend that people take under advisement, try it, sample it. I guarantee you folks, once you try a case, you will be amazed, as Lee said, as I was. I said, wow, I do not even want to touch any other water that's out there because I can definitely see and taste the difference. So you're absolutely right. Lee, as you evolve now, you've grown gradually and it's steady growth. What's on the horizon as you see it? Do you see yourself maybe moving the water into some key restaurants, or you said schools and all? So what's your overall growth strategy as you see the water moving forward?
Well, I like slow growth. I don't like any spikes up and all that. I'm not looking for that. I just I know who my audience is. My audience is everybody who really cares about what they put in their mouth, basically in their body. So and that's not everybody. Everybody's not so concerned about what kind of food they eat or what kind of water they drink, or what is healthy and what is this and what is that. So I love the space that we're in, because it's about educating. And that's why I don't really look to be on store shelves. I know that might sound silly to some people, but I don't want to just set the water on the shelf. I want to be able to explain what it is and educate, because it's different. So.
Well, you mentioned educate, and again, going back to our questions that's been posed to us, and I'm saying to our members, our attendees, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Lee, you talked about explaining the aspect of water. Can you explain now, when you talk about natural alkaline and what the pH is? Because now that you've been to Berkeley Springs and you see, and you've got far more knowledge about it, educate us as consumers. What do you really mean by natural alkaline, and what do we talk about the pH level?
Well, the pH level is the difference between being alkaline and acidic is anything that's above 7.0 is alkaline. Anything below 7.0 is considered acidic. So if you can, a best way to describe it is like when you're cleaning your pool and you add baking soda, or whatever, to raise the pH level. So my first home that I bought when I was 26, it had a pool, and I had never had a pool before. And when it started to grow algae and turn green, I would put baking soda in it, and what happens is it raises the pH level over 7, and it kills the algae. Now, really think about that. If you're eating alkaline food like green vegetables and things of that nature and alkaline water, it's not going to let disease or dis-ease grow in your body. And I would refer to Dr. Sebi's teaching. Like if anybody could get a hold of any of Dr. Sebi's YouTube videos, he explains it in detail, and it makes so much sense. And when I say naturally alkaline, what makes the water alkaline is the minerals in the water, that it's collecting. And unnatural alkaline is when somebody adds baking soda or something to that nature to the water. And one of the best ways to test the alkalinity of water is to take the cap off of it overnight. Because if it was unnatural and they added something to boost the pH, it will all dissipate into the air. But if it's natural, it will stay that way forever. So that's what I tell people: just take any bottled water, including Asé, take the cap off of it, and get the little chlorine, whatever strips that you test water with, and you test it, and then the color will change a certain color, and you can match it up with what the alkaline level is. And that's how you properly do it. But yeah, naturally alkaline water is the best water for you, bar none. Spring water, natural spring water, Yeah.
Great. Another question out here from one of our guests is asking Lee, what methods do you use to spread the word about your brand and your business?
We utilize social media a lot. We make videos. We do posting on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and it works because one thing that I try to do, especially I love Instagram, is I try to answer every single like. You understand? that took me a long time to understand what that was all about, because when I first got on to say like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I would say, okay, people like that content. But actually it's a way to engage and to explain, with I like growing by individual. I know that sounds insane, but I want everybody who goes on and likes one of our videos or one of our posts or whatever, I'm going to send you a thank you personally to say, thank you for even liking it. And then hopefully we can engage in conversation and I can explain more to you. Because see, what a lot of people think is we're just Black owned. And that's a beautiful thing, but that's not all this is. We're actually one of the best tasting waters, healthiest waters out there, so, and I love the fact that, we get to go directly to our community who is underserved. And a lot of people say, well, why do you keep emphasizing the Black community? Is because that's who's getting hurt the most by this infrastructure and the lack of knowledge and education, and we need that. We need to know the importance of water. We know the importance of all these different liquors and all these different ales or whatever, and we pride ourselves in buying $100 bottle of Hennessy. It's killing us. It's absolutely killing us. So to get back to water, the basis, and then to be educated on what it does for your body and your organs and your skin is amazing. So I mean, I love it because I used to own a cigar store back in the early 2000s in Baltimore City in a harbor. And it was a really, really successful cigar store. But I never felt good about that. I never ever had that, that feeling where, I'm helping people, and when I got away from that, I said, people always say, man, you're gonna get another cigar store. Never, ever. I love being able to do something that is actually healing people and helping people. I don't care about the money. I don't really care about that. I swear to you, because there's all kind of ways to make money. But when you can leave this planet and say, I did something for people, I actually help people, that's what's up. That's more important. I look at water like medicine. I honestly, truly do. Because it heals your body. If you could drink a certain amount of water every day and stay hydrated, all of your cells are going to work better. That's just facts. Everything is going to, flush out. All the toxins are going to flush out. When you get the flu or when you get COVID or anything like that, the one thing they want you to do, drink water, stay hydrated. Drink water.
That is true.
Flushes, and it rejuvenates your cells, especially if it's naturally alkaline water. So I can't emphasize it enough. I hate to sound like, I'm trying to sell my water. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to educate you on drinking water, even if you don't drink Asé water. I need you to drink water, good water, and have longevity, and flexibility, because that's what it does. It just lubricates your cells on a cellular level, and water has memory. So it's a doctor, I can't call his name right now, but he did an experiment with water where he talked to the water negative words, and he talked to this glass of water beautiful, positive words, and then he froze each bottle of water, sliced it, put it underneath a microscope, and the water that he talked really beautiful love words to, the crystals were gorgeous, like crystal, beautiful crystals. And the one that he talked negative to, like, if you talk negative to a child, and you say, you can't do this, you ugly, you this, you that, the crystals were ugly. And it holds a vibration. So that's why, again, we chose the most beautiful word in the universe, which is ashe, to put on that bottle to resonate that vibration into that bottle. So when you drink in that water, it has the vibration of ashe. Ashe is like we use the word amen. Like if you say something that I agree with, I say ashe, ashe, brother, ashe, sister. And it also has, ashe has a meaning to it as into what is your ashe? What are you good at in life? Are you a good speaker? Are you a good cook? Are you a good dancer? Well, that's your ashe. That's your purpose in life. That's what the creator put you here for. That's your ashe. Everybody has an ashe, everybody. You just got to find out what it is. And that's a beautiful thing. So by us putting the red, black, and green, which is the African colors, okay, using the word ashe and using the symbol of the Ankh, which is eternal life, you see the vibration that we're putting out is all love. It's all love, okay? So I want that to be word of mouth. To answer your question, how are we getting it out there? Word of mouth, okay? And that's the best advertising, okay? I get so many people who want us to sponsor them or do this or have them, represent our water. I say, I don't want to buy your representation. I want you to love the water. And I want you to do it because you love the water, not because I'm going to pay you money to say it's good. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So if this is all real, there's nothing, no cap about this. Like the young people say, ain't no cap in this water. This is the real deal, So, and I shy away from the sales end of it because I don't like that. You know what I mean? I want it to be real. I want you to taste the water and go, wow, that's some good water. You understand? And that's all I want, one by one. And over time, it'll
You'll
get
get there.
It'll get there.
Well, Lee, listening to you now, I've got to call you now Dr. Water, because you have given, I hope, our listening audience and our watching audience a true walkthrough in terms of how we should, one, value the purest thing out there, water.
Yes.
How we take it for granted, but when you put it in the context that you put it in tonight, we need to take it very seriously, very, very seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you and I have had some personal conversations regarding each of us, and you've indicated to me the water, and I've stayed with it, definitely. In most cases, to be quite candid, I've increased my intake, and I can see the difference. So I say to the audience.
I saw somebody had a question about the drinking water from the plastic.
Yes.
I just wanted to touch on that real fast. The best, just to let you know what the best way to drink water is out of copper, a copper vessel. Okay, I do that. Let me see if I have mine with me. Hold on, I'll show you what I mean. Can you see that?
Yes.
That's a copper vessel, and you can buy this on Amazon, but because when you drink out of copper, something that's in the copper is really good for you. But do your research. So, but as far as shipping, we try to keep it as light as possible and keep BPA-free bottles. So that's why I say the plastic, if you're going to use it, use very high quality, something that doesn't leak into the water itself. So yeah, that's why if I had my choice, I would ship it in water. I mean, in glass, so, but it would make it even more heavier and make it even more expensive. So, like I said, a lot of people ask, those type of questions, but I didn't sit around and do that. Like I said, I listened to Joe Madison, and Joe Madison said, what are you going to do about it? And I could have said, well, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I can't do this. And what about this? And by the time I, do all that, I wouldn't have the company up and running. So the most effective, efficient way to get the water to you is in the lighter vessel. And then you can transfer, if you could take your bottle of water out of plastic, you could, like I do, just pour a bottle into this and I sip on it all day long, or I transfer it to my glass bottle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you got to get a plug in there now. So can I get that glass bottle and that copper bottle through Amazon?
Yes. Well, not the glass. This is somebody, made this for me, the glass. But
well, see, you shouldn't have shown that, because now you're going to have myself and others going, where can we get that glass as well as a copper bottle?
It's coming. We're working on it.
Okay.
This is something we're working on for restaurants.
Okay. Great to know.
Yeah, but this you can get off of Amazon. It's copper.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Absolutely best. And I actually, in the morning time when I drink my water, I wish I had it with me, but it's like a centrifuge that spins the water in glass. It's got a magnet on the bottom. So what it's doing is it's recreating like a stream of water, because when water's moving, it erases the memory. Remember, I told you water has memory. You guys trust and believe don't have enough time for me to talk about all this, but I am so excited to learn as much as I have done with water, because I didn't know these things. So if you go on Amazon and you just look for the vase that spins, and and I take music like 528 vibration, and I put a speaker up to my water while it's spinning. Okay, and it puts love in the water.
I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a beautiful thing, man. When you get into water, I want everybody to get into water. I mean, just get into it and learn about it and research it. It's going to amaze you because water is actually a computer. You know, it actually really is. It holds so much memory. And that's why you don't want to talk negatively to anybody, especially a child. You don't want to say no negative things because it penetrates every cell of their body, which our body is made up of 70 to 80% water. You see, so you want to always talk positive affirmations, you know, especially to yourself. Know thyself, okay? And just manifest, you know, your positivity every day and keep drinking water and speak to your water. Talk to your water. Tell your water how much you love the water.
I love it. I love it.
Real talk. This is I'm being real.
I hear you.
Research this. It's going to amaze you when you research this. Okay, it's a beautiful thing. You know, water is our gift because check this out. You could live without love, but you can't live without water. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody living can live without water. And when the water's gone, we go. And you're right, it's a drought, it's a for real water shortage around the world, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
I would emphasize, you know, hoarding water at some point, like start collecting it, you know, but that's just me. You know, I'm getting way on the deep side there, but I just love water so much because it's life, you know, it's eternal life. You know,
I can see now, yeah, once you got into it, as to use maybe a humorous analogy, you dove all in.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, because once you start listening to the real experts about water, I mean, it will truly amaze you what water truly is. You know, it's actually a true living computer that, you know, that carries, you know, certain vibrations. And
well, when you look at history and all, people fought over water in a lot of cases too.
Oh, wars! The future wars are going to be over water.
Yeah,
not money, not drugs. It's going to be over water.
Okay.
Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Lee, this has been very, very good. And really,
what is that question? It says, how would we stock up on water without what? What did they say?
How will we stock up with water without using plastic, or is it a lesser of the evils when it comes to droughts?
It's okay to use plastic. It's nothing. The thing you don't want to use in plastic is you don't want to set the water in the sunlight. It's okay to store your water in plastic. It's fine. You ever go up to a gas station, they have the cheap water stacked outside all day?
Yeah.
That's the worst water you can drink in the world because it's been in the sun all day long, and it's those bottles are not BPA free, and everything that bottle is made of gets into that water. Gotcha. So that's the thing you don't want to do. If you're going to store the water in bottles, just keep it in a nice, cool place, like, you know, your basement, you know.
Which I do all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But don't let it sit in the sunlight. You know, some people put the water in their car and let it sit there all day before they you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Not unless it's in glass. But definitely don't do that. But if it's in plastic, like I said, just keep it in a nice, cool place, cover it up, you know, away from the sun. That's all. That's all you have to do.
Lee, this
value your water. Value your
water. That's
just
I was
like
going to ask you.
Go ahead.
Now I was going to ask you, and you started that. What are some closing thoughts that you would say? And number one, you said value your water. Any additional thoughts you may have?
Oh, well, I mean, when I think about water, I want the best. You know, when I go to a restaurant or when I'm away from my water, I mean, you got to give me some good water. Understand what I'm saying? People say, well, give me the best wine. No, give me the best water. You know, I'm not drinking that tap water. Did y'all know that? Do you know who the #1 consumer of bottled water is?
No.
Black people.
Really?
And Hispanic. Black and Hispanic people. If you ever look at commercials with water, they always emphasizing minorities. And the reason why we're the #1 consumer of bottled water is because we don't trust what's coming out of the tap, because of Flint, Michigan, because of all these different stories that's coming out, because of the We are, look it up, please research it. We are the #1 consumer. And that's why, you know, the billion-dollar water companies like Fiji and Essentia, that's why they have Black spokespeople. They market directly to us because we are the ones who buy the most bottled water.
Interesting. Didn't know that. Didn't know
Yes,
that.
because most people who have beautiful infrastructures, filters in their home, they're more affluent people. That's not the majority of our community is not affluent and have access to the best infrastructure. So we are living in, you know, metropolitan areas, projects, you know, low income housing. Nobody cares about the infrastructure in a low income community. You know, so I mean, really think about that. And why it's no reason why everybody shouldn't be drinking the best water. You know, it's just no reason. You can't get me to believe anything other than it's intentional. Because if you can send billions and billions of dollars to overseas to help them, and I'm not condemning that because I'm in favor of helping anybody, but help us, you know, first before we step out and you know, send billions and billions of dollars outside of our community when all of our pipes should be fresh, brand new. Everybody should have filters on their water. You know, it should be alkaline water because everybody knows that alkaline water is the best water. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And so why would you be giving me acidic water? You know, it makes no sense. Why don't I want my pool water to be clean? And the way I clean it up is to put alkaline in it, you know, raise the alkaline. So if that's the case for the pool, why isn't that the case for my body? You know, so I'm off my soapbox.
No, Lee, that soapbox was great tonight. This was probably one of the most informative business showcases that we've had that I can remember, that you basically gave us and given us words to live by, words to research, and really water to taste. And again, as I said to our audience before, do yourself a favor. If you haven't tried it, go on Amazon tonight, order it, a case, and try it. And then come back to Lee and myself after you've gone through it, the entire case, and tell me what you think. And I think, Lee, you want to know what they think.
Oh, absolutely. I already know what they're going to think, but yeah, you know how good it is. But one thing I want to tell people, when most people go to Amazon, they look at the price of $49. They go, gee, wait, $49. It's actually $2 per bottle. And if you go to a vending machine, you're probably going to pay $2 to $3 for cheap water. You understand what I'm saying? But this is 24 bottles in a case. And trust me, if you feel the way I know you feel about yourself and you want the best for yourself, then start really upping your game a little bit and getting, you know, drinking the best water. This is like the champagne of water. You know, it's all kind of different things in this world. There's different types of shoes. There's different type of cars. There's different type of houses. You know, we want the best until it comes to water. You know, keep that same thing going, because that's the thing that's really, you know, extending, you know, your health is your diet and what you're putting in your mouth and your body and how you think about it. So if you're going to pay a little bit extra to get the best, do that, you know.
Well, you've got a advocate right here. I make sure that I get my monthly supply, and for, like you said, for 24 bottles, each bottle having 20 ounces in there, you can't go wrong at all, really, when you think about it. So again, Lee, this has been great. As I said earlier, I've been trying to get you on here for quite some time.
I'm happy. I'm happy that you did. And I apologize to everybody for taking up your time, and because some things just are out of my control. But there's nothing better for me to be on here with you and talking about water, and not actually, because I hate to don't go into the sales end of it. It's not my thing. You know, I just did this for y'all. I only did it for that. You know, I didn't do it to be rich or nothing like that. I want to be rich in spirit, you know, to know that I'm helping people. It ain't no better feeling than that. You understand?
Well,
to me.
What this means now, this is your calling.
I hope
And
so.
And your business, basically, this is a unique perspective when you can be in a business of your calling.
My ashe.
Ashe. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out to share your time with Lee, the owner and founder of Asé Water. Again, I'm going to plug it as much as I possibly can because this is what we do in our business roundtable. We support each and every business person that's here, that's part of our business roundtable. And I encourage our people that are part of our business roundtable, if you haven't bought the water, try it. You know you're going to like it. And guess what? After you do that, and put Lee on the spot, give him a call and talk to him about it and tell him, because he definitely wants that feedback.
Yes.
So again, questions, if you have any questions out there, please send it to Lee at info@ashewater.com. We've recorded this, and once we record this, Lee, it'll be up on both systems, the Howard County Library website and our Ujamaa Business Roundtable website, and we will send you a copy also to put on yours if you so desire. So again,
please take out that part where I wasn't here.
Yeah, we'll do the editing. Don't worry about that. And
I apologize again. I apologize so much.
I got somebody would love to pick up a pack locally. Well, Janine, if you can, maybe hopefully go through Amazon and they'll drop it off for you. Basically, depending on where you are, don't know if he can deliver it, but hey, go to Amazon. And once you get that, I think you really enjoy it. I can't say enough about the water because I know people are going to get on me, but Lee, I tried it and it absolutely works. And I just tell everybody, this is the best water that I've ever tasted in my life. So again, thank you. It was not by accident. Our paths crossed over several years ago.
Yes, sir.
I know on the behalf of the Ujamaa Business Roundtable, we wish you success. And your story and how you progress on is a very unique. You came in there with a passion and a love to do good.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, we know you're going to be successful. So again, Lee, thank you for taking time out of your schedule. We appreciate it, definitely. We want to stay in touch with you. People, you've got his email address, you've got his website, all the information is in the chat. So please pull it up, go do yourself a favor, research that. And then if you so move, get on Amazon tonight and put that order in. And if you've got Prime, guess what? You should have it within a couple days. So they don't waste their time on Prime at all. So again, thank you so much. And somebody said, looking forward to seeing you represent Whole Foods. Well, let's put it this way. If that's not on his growth strategy right now, who knows? You never know what the person upstairs has in store for him. So Lee, on the behalf of the Howard County Library and the Ujamaa Business Roundtable, thank you very much for taking time out and sharing with us your vision, your passion, and your love for one of the most essential ingredients in this world, water.
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Lee. Have a blessed evening. Talk to you again soon. Ashe. Ashe.
And I want to thank everybody, Lee, especially for taking time out of your busy day to share with us tonight your business, your story. We're totally grateful for that. And at this time of year, we're also so thankful for Nat. The Howard County Library System values the partnership with the Ujamaa Business Roundtable, a roundtable of African-American business owners from the counties of Howard, Montgomery, Prince George's, Baltimore, and Baltimore City. We are so thankful. We look forward to working with the Ujamaa Business Roundtable and that again in the coming year. We wish for everyone a wonderful holiday season. We'll be back in January. We wish you to bring in the new year with good water, Asé Water, the
That's-
champagne of water.
Yes.
Remember to drink your water each and every day. Have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We'll stick around for a minute or two after I turn out the recording. But thank you everyone. And thank you again, Lee and Nat.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, really. Lee, it's
Thank
been a pleasure, really. And again, thank you so much for taking the time out.
Oh, thank you
Be
for
a
having me.
part of us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Been a
no,
pleasure.
The pleasure has basically been ours. So